What's up, y'all? I threw that together in about 20 seconds.
Nice. I love a good countdown.
Yeah, it's like I don't have an intro yet, and I hate the awkward pause when you push the live button, and it's like, are we live? Hello? Is anyone there?
Indeed.
Anyway, how you doing? I just saw you about 10 hours ago on the Aquatic Morning Show.
Indeed. Now I'm just kind of sleepy because I was waking up a little earlier than usual.
Yeah.
And it's my day off and then back to work tomorrow.
Yeah, I was. Why is this being weird? No, I was the same way because today was the first day I was supposed to be back in work, and I've been used to going to sleep at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning and getting up at whenever.
Yep, I hate going back to work. Even though I work from home, it's like, oh no, obligations tomorrow. Now I can't ignore my email. Oh well.
But yeah, I hope everyone's having a good Monday.
Indeed. First Monday of the year.
Yeah, we got the word at like 2:20 that our school district is closed for the whole week due to staffing issues and bus issues. So they revised the numbers. Apparently only 40% of staff was in today, and only 35% of our students could get in because there was no buses running.
God. And they were going to try to, they did try to have school today?
Oh, they were there.
So it was a full day of school?
Yep.
Awesome. And then, yeah. Oh. Well, my kids are out for another week. We actually thought yesterday that they were going back at the same time as Jenna. She went back today, and then she looked at the school calendar. So imagine you're a kid and you think you have to go to school tomorrow, and only to be told, actually, you have one more week off.
I'm sure they were ecstatic.
The best feeling ever.
Oh, look, this is going to be the first hello because they're never here anymore. It's Zen Ginger.
It is
actually here.
Wow.
All right, and I'm going to roll through the participant list this time instead of going off of the chat because that's 10 times easier. So if I miss your name and you come in, hello in advance. So we got Alice, Baron, Bex, Crowntail, Dave, Dee, Geek Boy, Greg, Jenna P, Jeremy, Jimmy P, Eduardo, Metalhead, Michael, Monster Fish Gal, My Fish Tanks, New Local Austin, Patty, Petroman, Sandy, Skipper, Skull, and of course Zen Ginger. Hello to everybody. If I missed you, I'm sorry, but I went off the YouTube list.
The YouTube list. I don't even know where that is. Like I go by the Nightbot list, and it takes forever.
Yeah, I go by the on your chat, just the 3 dots at the top right. You can click that and go to participants.
Oh, I think I'll do that from now on.
It just makes it because if you try to go through the chat, you might miss people, and Speaking of which, hello, Discus Talk.
Hey, Tammy.
Hope you made out okay with that storm the other day.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I wanted to paste. Gosh darn it. Good thing I sent you the link earlier. So, yeah, we're going to be talking about plants tonight.
Yay, plants.
Plants won the poll. I'm assuming Steven went on like all his 20,000 Google accounts and just voted for plants every time.
Just once. That's all.
Okay.
I saw that plants was in the lead, so I didn't feel
you just had to give it that boost, huh?
Yeah. This one extra.
So yeah, and because I'm feeling crazy still, we're gonna do a giveaway coupled with that. I'm gonna do Dustin Fish Tanks has a nice website that sells a bunch of plants. Steven has said he has ordered stuff from them before. Correct?
Yep, I definitely like them.
Okay, so that's all I needed to hear. I figured they'd be the easiest because they do bundles and stuff. So they have a New Year's special. You get 5 plants. So just like they go in, they kind of just pick them. I'm going to put easy beginner plants on the list just in case, not everybody's plant people. So that way everybody can get them and appreciate them regardless of what they get.
Yeah, I think it's like his choice. He just sends
Yeah,
whatever.
but it says you put in the
needs.
notes that you want like easy plants or something. They can
Mhm.
do that.
Yeah,
for
I've tried some difficult plants from him, and they do kind of okay, but they're very finicky, and like some of them just demand all the light, and then I've got a mixture of plants that don't demand that much
Mm.
light, so it's a difficult combination.
Yeah, this thing here that says you can put in your notes, and it actually says, "Hey, I'm a total rookie. Give me easy plants." So we're gonna go with that
There you
option
go. Yep.
because that'll cover easy beginner fish keeper or yeah fish keepers, beginner plant keepers, and people that have been keeping them for a while. How do you enter Fish Tank, Dad? That is a great question. We're gonna try something a little different tonight. So Nightbot keeps a running list of active people in the chat. And I have a slider bar. Actually, I'll show you guys real quick. So Nightbot will keep a running list of everybody that's active in the chat. I can move this slider here all the way down to like a minute up to 15. So it's set for 15 minutes. So as long as you're active in the chat, there's a 15-minute window before you get kicked off the list. So I'll say in chat, like I'll be like, okay, we're going to roll the giveaway in a minute. That way, as long as you're active in the chat, you'll be populated back onto the lovely list over here. As you can see, everyone's already entered. So as long as you're active in chat, and I'll say we're going to roll, you gotta have like a minute or two after I say that, and then we're just going to roll from the list. And if you don't want it, you can say that and we'll roll again.
Yep. No lurking.
Just trying something different. Vinny Aquatics, hello, my local Connecticut. Snoochie Booch, hello. I saw you earlier as well. Skull, how's it going? Discus Addiction. Happy to here. Myrtle, hello, hello. Shane, hello.
Who's Melissa N? I don't think I've seen that name before.
I don't know. That one looks like a new. Melissa N, are you new?
Could just be a lurker who's like, oh crap, I can't be a lurker anymore.
I don't know. The picture looks familiar.
So
I'm wondering if maybe it's someone from another stream or they did a change. Not sure. Also, hello, Darlene Terry. You'll lurk if you want. Well, then nothing for you, good sir.
Good day, sir.
GRB, what's going on? See, if an international person wins it and they want to give it to someone else, they can, or I can gift card you the value.
Oh, you're not gonna ship plants to another country and see
if
what
it's
they
Australia, I can. If it's any other country, I can't because I have an Australian fish plant store account.
Oh.
So when we were doing the community, like we did Project Basilia, Anabantoid, and Catfish Christmas last year, we had Australian people enter. So I asked, like, at the time I asked Prawny, Blake, and I think Aquamate, like what websites and stores they've used in Australia before. So I made accounts with like 3 different stores, and I just gave people winnings that way.
Cool.
Oh, yeah. Look at you. I had people's probably going to get it because they seem to win everything on this channel.
Wait, what?
I had people has won like 3 things.
Yeah.
Throughout the month of December. It's kind of crazy.
Nightbot definitely favors Steph.
I think we're all used to like Dan's Fish when he does giveaways, and there's like 200 plus people in there, so you're not going to see the same people pop up constantly.
Right.
So when you have a smaller channel doing it with like 40 to 60 people,
has any single username won a Dan's Fish giveaway more than once?
I think I want to say there's a couple people that have, but I'm not positive. I feel like there's at least 1 or 2 that I remember. Melissa, and yes, there is a giveaway tonight for a little plant bundle from Dustin's Fish Tanks. Not sponsored or anything. I just wanted to support a fellow hobbyist that does this. I met them at Aquashella Chicago. Seems like a neat dude, so I figure I've been trying to try him forever, so I figure we'll give it a shot.
Peplin said he won Dan's twice.
Okay, I knew there was somebody. So I want to save the image. Gosh, computer. Open image. There we go. So these are just pictures of what people have won before for anyone interested. So like this is probably more than 1 bundle because you only get 5. So they just kind of go in their tanks, and it's kind of just whatever they put their hands on, you get. But I'm gonna, like I said, put in there super easy beginner level plants, just that way that whoever gets it can be successful with them and not get a prize.
Yeah.
So that'll be something different to try.
It comes with 5, right?
Yeah. So they'll pick like 5 things from this this picture and you'll get that.
So 5 easy plants. Which ones would you pick?
Oh, that's a good question, Steven. Why'd you blindside me like that?
I'm just looking at it as all a bunch of stem plants up
It
there,
is a
and when
bunch
I'm
of stem plants.
thinking easy plants, obviously, rhizome plants
Right.
like
I mean,
low light plants.
easy stem plants. I would say any of the bacopas probably,
Yeah.
because those seem pretty beginner proof. There's the one that I can never remember the blasted name of. Oh, what is it called? It looks like a feather when it gets wet.
Hornwort,
No, it's not hornwort. The co-op has it.
feather.
I can pull it up.
Oh, water wisteria, water
It starts with
sprite.
an M or an F.
Well,
Hang on, I'm almost certain the co-op has it on their website. Where is it? Where is it? Who's gonna get? Can Steven guess before I find it?
I don't know. I'm just thinking feathery type plants.
Miyako
fluviatilis.
That one, yeah.
That was me. My next
right
one.
here. This is another easy one. And the cool thing about this one is like the Bacopa, you can float it or you can root it. So if you want to have it just grow crazy, it'll just grow crazy in your tank.
Yeah.
And then your any Anubias really and Java Fern.
Yeah, Eduardo said Kabamba. So I wouldn't consider Kabamba an easy plant. Yeah, you can grow it and it will thrive in most water, but it doesn't really look that good unless you've got really high light. Otherwise, you don't get the canopy look that you really want to come out of Kabamba. Like, it doesn't get bushy.
Oh, and a dwarf aquarium lily, that's another easy different one you could try.
Yep.
The Madagascar lace plant, another bulb plant that's kind of cool.
Yeah, that's a strange one though. It's got like a seasonal period where everything will die back, and I've had one where everything died back and it just never came back for some reason. I do want to try it again though.
Yeah, mine did that. I was like, would it die? And that's when Ed was like, no, they have like a growing season. I'm like, oh, cool. When's it gonna grow back?
Yeah, it never did.
Nope. But that's a different one. The banana plant, people seem to like that one too. I've not tried that one myself.
That's a ban from the house. Jenna hates it.
Oh.
She just thinks it's the stupidest looking plant. So I'm fine with that. What she doesn't like as well, but we still have it, is Pogo Stemon Stellatus octopus, and that's another easy stem plant.
I have not been able to successfully keep that one.
Really?
My mollies and my guppies always eat it.
Oh.
I've tried it in 3 different tanks, and every tank I've had, the fish they literally ate it all the way down to the root system, and it never had a chance to grow. And it's not like I don't feed the fish. It's just weird. Like, they only attacked that one, never the other ones.
Yeah, there's a lot of plants that they call easy plants that some people just like can't grow up to save their life. I mean, there are people out there who can't grow duckweed. So, is that you?
You're talking about, Stephen?
And I don't really know why, other than if there's a lot of surface movement, then the duckweed can't like settle and multiply.
Yeah, and
the only thing.
Oh, I saw something weird.
What? Oh.
No, I was gonna say, like, and there's other floating plants like red root floaters and dwarf aquarium lettuce or dwarf, and people like those are hard, yet I have no problem with those, regardless of the movement in the tank. Like, when I first got the dwarf aquarium lettuce, I turned the flow down a little bit, but there was still a decent, bubble in one corner and the hang on back until it grew in, and then it eventually established itself. Same with
maybe your tank is so balanced that duckweed just cannot take advantage of additional nutrients, and it cannot grow.
The one thing that my duckweed is water spangles.
Water spangles,
that grows like duckweed for me. Like, if I do not take care of that, that's just a jungle of gunk.
Well, I hadn't had duckweed for years, and then whenever I was doing this tank behind me, on the one on the left hand side, that one, the dwarf hairgrass that I ordered had a couple of pieces of duckweed in there I didn't realize, And then it multiplied, and then it got stuck to the python, and then it went into the guppy mosh pit, and now I've got pounds and pounds of it.
Thank you, Myrtle, for putting the other name for water spangles.
Salvinia minima, aka illegal.
Oh.
I don't believe you're supposed to have it in Louisiana.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say
Sure
I got mine
do.
off Amazon.
Oh.
Yeah, I got it.
I mean, it's considered an invasive plant. I don't know exactly if it's
Okay.
illegal. I think it is.
Yeah, Amazon had a like a 4 floating plant package from one seller. So it had water spangles, it had dwarf water lettuce, frog bit, and red root. The only thing that did not take in my water or tanks was the frog bit, which I'd like to try again because it is a different looking leaf. Also, Rack, thank you so much, Bird Garden, for that thumbs up pear super sticker. If y'all aren't subbed to Bird Garden, get your butts over there. Watch some of the videos that are not the 24-hour stream so we can get Rack his watch hours. Also,
yeah, we spent a few hours on that that 24-hour bird stream whenever we were doing the all night thing on Christmas Eve.
It's fun to tune in on them.
Yeah.
Jennifer, what's the illegal stem plant that we saw in Houston that you wouldn't let me have?
So I think it's Anacharis.
Okay.
Pretty sure it is. That might be the one.
And if anyone has any fish questions, just at me with them so I can pull them for y'all.
Or plant questions.
Miss anybody. But we're all plant experts in this stream, so why would we have questions, right?
Yeah.
Oh, guppy grass. See, I had issues with guppy grass too. It only took in one of my small 5-gallon tanks. I could not get it to grow in the wild betta tank, the 10-gallon next to me, or the community tank. It only took in the 5-gallon, and I'm just wondering if it was a lighting issue or what's going on. That's a medium low light plant, right?
It's low light, and medium light it'll be downright invasive. When I went to Aquashella, at the end of the event, LRB does plant-a-claws, and the plants that he doesn't sell, he starts giving them out. I just decided, you know what? I've never had guppy grass before. I guess I'll go and grab a little baggie of it. And now that baggie of it is like taking over my 29-gallon Corey breeder.
Oh.
Question 1, name all the plants. All my plants? I still couldn't. I still could not remember everything I have.
Every Anubias known to man, or every Anubias the co-op sells. Let's put it that way. That I have. What's your favorite Anubias plant?
I don't know. I kind of like. I like Nana Petite. And I like what's it called? The gold coin. I think it was. I've got a couple of those in the Anubias Nana. I like the smaller ones, basically.
Okay. Yeah, the Cophelia, I like that one. The one that gets like a little copper tint to it. And the Bacteria, I think, are mine too, because I like that it gets bigger. Like, I don't know if you saw the pictures from the Clash of the Cophelia one. That was huge.
Oh, yeah, I think I remember that.
Let me see if I might actually have footage of that. Also, Alice had a question.
Jenna's just trolling. Tell me the difference between every version of Boost. Well, it depends on who you talk to. Because, people name the same crap, different things.
That's one of the Anubias is like that. It has multiple. It's got 2 names, but it's the same plant. I can't remember which one. Did I take footage of it?
Water Wisteria. Water Wisteria is one of those things that kind of grows like a weed, but it is not a super low light plant. You got to have some light. Like if it's on the patio, doesn't get lots of light, I would say that's most likely why it's not doing well. Because even like in my daughter's tank, she's got like a Nicrew light, and I had it dialed down a good bit, and the Water Wisteria gets really leggy if I have it planted in the substrate. So it's got to have some medium light.
I found it.
Nice.
So that's a regular. I think it's like a 2.5. Like you put a beta in or something, like those crappy ones. And that's a Cophelia. I didn't realize how big they got. And this is the same guy that gave us giant water lettuce
Wow.
that Susie Q got to take home, which is still pretty cool.
See, I like to put Anubias in nano tanks, and so that's why I don't have any of the big leaf Anubias.
Yeah, this is unseen footage. Y'all are getting a sneak peek at some Clash from last year. There's a Bisher. This was like the miscellaneous row for the fish show.
Bishers are cool.
They're growing on me.
Yeah, I'm not into monster fish, but I could see myself having a Bashir.
See, when people say Bashir, I think of the doctor from Star Trek Deep Space Nine.
I don't know for sure how you say. I know it's not biker.
I know. What weirdo says biker? Oh, there was another question. Oh, Java Moss. Any tips? Well, that's Java Moss there. Not extremely hot water.
Yeah.
And a lot of it. I mean, I was dosing this tank weekly with Easy Green, and it was on the cooler side. And the light is like it's a low to maybe moderate light. It's a freaking top fin light, so it's nothing special.
Yep. I think, do you know what your KH is of your water? Because when we say soft water, it's weird. When you're talking about hard and soft water with fish, you're talking about GH, or you should be. But when you're talking about plants, you want to, when you're saying hard and soft water, it's about the alkalinity. So it's kind of a misnomer. But higher alkalinity makes certain plants more difficult to grow. So ideally, and that's why all those fancy aquascapes, they tend to use RO water. They can just manipulate the water however they want.
I will tell you in about 30 seconds.
Nice.
That's why that's what I like these. They're nice and fast. And I usually double check them against my actual master test kit. And for pH nitrates and nitrites, they're actually usually about the same. So that's why I know I can usually get a decent, guess with those. Let's see. Oh, this was a general tank question from Melissa here. It says, I found a bulge in my 55-gallon wall and a split in the top frame. Tore it down last night. Did I make the right decision? Yes, you definitely did. Because that sounds like a recipe for disaster to me.
I'd be scared.
I'm petrified about my community tank, because if I go over and look at like one of this the front panel, I swear there's not enough, silicone on it, because you can get a fingernail in there. But then if you look on the inside of it, it's just globbed. So I'm thinking it's fine, but I'm always terrified I'm going to wake up and that whole panel's going to be missing.
Oof. Yeah. Hopefully it'll warn you with a slow leak. Like Jenna's 10-gallon in her classroom started with a slow leak. And so I just said, just tear it down now. Don't try to save it and go and get a Fluval Flex 15 or 16, whatever it's called.
Alice has a question about Bishers and what tank size. I believe like probably a 55 would be a good minimum.
I don't know off the top of my head how big they get.
I know they get, depending on what kind you get, they can get decently sized. So I would probably assume a 55, but I've never kept them either. So that would just be my general guess, because I've only seen people keep them in the slightly bigger tanks. So Dee Dee's enjoying her new keyboard.
So what's that test strip say?
The test strip says for KH, I'm looking at 40 ppm.
Oh, you got very soft water for plants. You actually have an ideal environment.
Huh?
That's pretty ideal for most plants.
Oh, okay.
Like I've got 120 ppm, so it's kind of like hard. It's like hard water teetering on too hard for a lot of stuff. So moss is a bit of a problem.
The GH is sitting firmly at 180 parts per million.
That's pretty good.
And, my nitrates are still at, 20 where they usually sit. And pH is a comfortable 6.0.
Sounds like you've got a haven for bettas.
Mm-hmm. Any, all the South American cichlids and tetras. Even the rasboras do good in it. So shrimp, they're not the shrimp. The snails need a little extra help though, so I give them a calcium food.
Yeah. So that would explain why you've got a wonderland of moss. I can get it to grow in heavily CO2 injected.
Okay. Yeah, I was thinking about maybe trying a CO2, but then I'm like, do I really want to go through that?
If you decide that you want to go with CO2, unless you're doing a nano tank, I suggest you just get the regular regulator and a 5-pound cylinder.
Okay.
And skip all the nonsense of in between DIY CO2, the CO2 tablets, stupid Fluval little tiny canister.
I mean, I wouldn't get the Fluval tiny canisters. I would just get the ones I use for, airsoft or pellet rifles.
Yeah, you can do that
hello,
too.
Miss Susan from SLC.
Hey,
I hope
Susan.
you're doing well.
Yeah, I've seen the paintball ones too.
Yeah.
Because if you're doing like one bubble every 2 or 3 seconds or something, like you start low and slow, then that'll last you a while.
Good. Let's see. Greg's Planet Tank says high tech, yay or nay. I'm a nay person when it comes to plants. I want the easy route, no CO2, no fancy high tech lights. Like I said, all of my lights are top fin except for one Finex that I have because there was no light I could put on that one.
Well, for me, it's yay and nay. It's the full spectrum of I've got the super high, blast it with light, blast it with all the CO2, and then I've got like high-ish light with some CO2, medium light with like the tiniest bit of CO2, all the way down to like barely any light and leave it alone and grow some anubias and stuff and everything in between. It's I just I like to try it all.
Yes, Mr. Snow, I do need a Snow Guardian kit for my snail's lives.
Yeah.
What did Dee Dee say? Where was it? She said something about should I try Val in the tanks with RO water?
Yeah, Ian, that's the problem with calling it high tech is like you introduce CO2 and suddenly it's high tech. It just means like you're doing all the things that plants like. You introduce that CO2 and suddenly you're like super nerd.
And Susan's talking about her water, said 80 parts per million from tap, but when the pH drops to 6, it gets to 40 parts per kh.
Wait, where was that?
That was at 9 o'clock on the dot.
Let's see.
So I'm assuming it comes out of the tap at 80 parts per million, but when it settles down to a pH of 6, it settles to 40, she said.
See, with RO water, Val, I don't have a problem with Val. I mean, Val needs time to settle, and it'll sometimes look like it completely dies back, and then it'll grow again, and then it'll take off. I don't do.
You can't really make out the yellow, but it's very yellow. People who said they don't ever see a 6. Like I said, it comes out at 6.5 and settles at 6 if I don't touch it.
No.
Let's see. Crowntail says, could one use rainwater for Java moss? So that'll definitely lower your pH down. I know that's one of the methods. When I asked Dean one time what's a way you can lower pH, he definitely said rainwater's a good way to go for that. I've never personally done rainwater in my tanks, but I'm sure it might work if you have to lower your pH down a little bit.
Yeah. Did you answer Baron Vonyan's or?
I have not seen that one
About
yet.
the paintball tank.
Oh, I was just getting to that one. Let's see. So, it jumped. God dang it. So, a paintball tank works. Yeah, you can hook as long as the connection fits, I'd imagine you could use the paintball CO2 canisters.
Yeah, so there's regulators that have adapters for a paintball cylinder, or you can get one that is already made for a paintball tank. And I forgot the name of the brand, but you can Google it. They're out there.
And I would also say make sure you're buying CO2 and not green gas, because there is a big difference between the two. Because I know some people use green gas for paintball and airsoft, and others use CO2. So if you're going to get a paintball tank, make sure it does say CO2 on it and not the other one. And then Freaky Fish Lady says, I have moss, but it's not thriving because it grows slow. Yes. So I'm looking at about 2 years of growth on the wild betta tank now. And what you guys see in my background is only about a year. So I would say mine doubled in size in the first year and then double sized again in the second year.
See, and then there are some people that will say that they get that amount in a month.
Weird. Okay.
So
this was 1 year in, and then now it goes from this tree all the way and covers pretty much this whole middle section of the tank. Let's see any more. That's not a dumb question there, Baron, about the paintball. It's a good one, actually, because some people might not know you can use those. And then Bex is saying, stay away from the fluval canisters. Worst thing ever. But my paintball setup from CO2 Art on a 10-gallon of the bed is enough.
I got one of those too, but not the paintball one. It's the full size one. And I have it on a 20-pound cylinder for the 90-gallon.
Very nice. Let's see.
And
oh god, I'm gonna just go off of freaking StreamYard so it doesn't jump constantly.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Do you guys like the moss ball thing, Fish Tank Dad? So I have tried the Christmas moss balls from Co-op. I remember there was one time Lisa and I had a war and bought like their entire stock. They seem to do well for a little while, and then for some reason they just disappear. Like they'll be growing, and then all of a sudden they just start dying at the ball part, and they'll float off the ball completely. And then I've just got moss floating freely. So at that point, why bother with the ball?
I'm 0 for 3 with those. I gave up.
Yeah, I think I have one sitting under. I saved the balls in case I wanted to trim this Java moss and try and put some on there.
But again, a lot of things that Aquarium Co-op sells as easy plants. It's easy if your water is similar to theirs, and yours is close enough, but not quite. And then mine is way far off in the KH realm. I
used to buy all my stuff from them, and then the last 3 times I got an Anubias from them, they all ended up with Anubias rot. So that's why I'm trying to find other people that I can try and get Anubias from, just to see.
Yeah, the Anubias rot random.
I don't mind, but I would email them and just say, just so you know, this shipment also had it. Maybe check. I don't know if it was the weather, because I know if they get really too hot when they're shipping, it'll happen, or what it was. But they were the only ones I've been having that issue with lately. So I'm trying to find a different person we can use.
Yeah, I've had a couple from them with Anubias rot, and then the rest of them were fine. I mean, I would say 90% of the plants I order from them end up doing well, but just some of those more finicky ones, the conversion period is critical, and sometimes I can't get it to come back. Maybe if I were to try to ease it in better and use RO for the transition part of it, but nope, I'm just plop into the tank. Good luck.
And then Susan was following up saying that I have 3 tanks that are 6.0 after a couple weeks after water change. I think it's my deep substrates, and I need more root feeders, more Val Water, Wisteria, and Amazon swords. That's another one. Swords disappear to nothing in my water, in my tanks.
Really?
I don't know what it is. Swords and crypts disappear, and I can never get them back.
Well, I do believe so. Crypts for sure, like a little more carbonate hardness, so that could be a reason. They also are like iron, so maybe some root tabs that are iron rich. I actually use the crypts that do the best are in my substrate, that the Seachem fluorite red that has extra iron in it. And I've got one crypt that's just doing amazing. Actually, let me see if I can find on the green screen.
Ooh, fancy. And then Alishon said, I think the reason some of my outdoor tubs fish breed is because of the rainwater. That is probably 100% true, because I know a lot of people say if you want to get your fish to breed, do a water change, because it simulates rainwater in nature. so I know that is probably true. And I think was it Alex that said, when it rains, the fish go crazy because I know they can get up waterways and stuff and spawn. Was that this morning he said that?
He was talking about dojo loaches, and
that's
why
right,
they're
yeah.
called the weather loach because of the way they act whenever a storm's coming.
God, that feels like it was yesterday already.
Mhm.
But yeah, I have the week off, so y'all might see me on the morning show a couple times this week. I don't know yet.
Yeah. So
Let me boop.
Yeah. So yeah, there we go. There, yep. It's complicated stuff.
Gotta ask Jennifer for one of her finger pointers from school, or a baby echo.
Yeah, this crypt. It's a Crypt Tropica, and it's even taller than it looks taller than it is in this picture because this is an older video.
Nice.
But yeah, it grows pretty bushy, and then I have to trim it out because it'll grow really wide and take over everything else.
Yeah, like I've tried them, and they've just never done well for me. I've done root tabs. I've even tried dosing easy iron. And I think I have one that melted completely and is slowly starting to come back now. But
yeah, and that's the one thing about crypts too. If they melt completely, it's not all hope is lost. Yeah, they can still have the potential to bounce back.
Michael's saying Java moss only grows fast in room temperature with cherry shrimp. Okay, I say like a cooler room. Well, what's your room temp? Because my room temp is 60 degrees year round.
I like it cool, but yeah, in the summer it's gonna be in the 70s. Like even when the AC is working top notch, which it's not right now, it's still trying hard to keep up to that record heat when it gets like July, August. But we try to keep it around 68. But I mean, I heat all my tanks. I don't have any that don't have a heater.
Let's see. Monsterfish Gal says, I have a Hydro Horizon 8-gallon. What plant would you use to make it look like ground covering growing off the rock cliff that's attached to the tank? Would Monte Carlo work?
Oh, geez, anyway. Yeah, I mean, Monte Carlo ain't the easiest thing, but if you've got the water for it, then that would be a good one, I think. Ground cover. Yeah, because it's dense enough that it'll grow downward.
Flop.
It'll hang down. Yeah, that's like Aqua Pros and those trees that he had in that old tank. It was nothing but Monte Carlo hanging down.
Posey, thank you for becoming a member. This is the furthest I've ever been behind in chat. Because I'm actually stopping and looking for questions.
Yeah.
Greg said I can go Java for him, but it certainly doesn't thrive for me without a lot of work. Yeah, it's the only moss that really does great for me. I've tried Crispus moss, I've tried peacock moss, and Java moss is the only one I've gotten to grow. And this is actually the only tank I've gotten to grow this well in too. I don't know
Java fern. I pulled one out of this tank a while back that was just becoming downright invasive, like huge.
Yeah, I have one again. Java fern. I have one 2.5-gallon tank under my desk. It's extremely low light. It stays at 76, and it's the only tank that I can get it to grow decently in. All the other ones, it dies. Beck says they're fighting a pink flamingo right now.
Yeah, hey Bex, if you figure out how to make pink flamingo work, please let me know. I'm about giving up on that. There's one in this 90, but it's about that big right now, and it's just barely hanging on. And I'm just like, please, $30 plant, don't die.
Let's see, Eduardo. I want to actually tag that because that's an interesting thing I've never even thought to do before.
The live plants in pots, add a rope string, rope string through the bottom of the pot, let it sink in the tank. The plant will soak up the tank water like a little wick. Well, that's interesting.
Yeah, now I've heard of that. We've had some outside planters that have that same like wicking effect, but they didn't do too hot. But it is an interesting thing to try at some point, maybe.
I wonder how Eduardo became such an expert at hydroponics.
I know. I want to do an aeroponics bay just because of Star Trek. Where'd it go? Where'd it go?
Yeah, like Myrtle said, both crypts and swords love active substrates. Like you cannot give it enough fertilizer at the roots.
That might be why then, because I don't go crazy with the active substrate stuff. I have 3 bird nests on top of 3 tanks, and they go, okay, cool. Zen says, I don't think my plants like that I don't turn the lights on enough now or do enough water changes. I top off often, and they only get 2 hours of light. I can't go crap anymore.
I wonder why.
Well, so when I went to Dallas or Chicago, I forgot to turn the light off on this 5-gallon tank on my desk, which had an Anubias in it. I got back and the leaves were like bright neon yellow because I had burnt them so bad. So I actually I kept the light off in the tank for a few days, and then I would give it like an hour or 2 of light. And it's weird that the bigger Anubias had the issue, but the Nana Petite didn't. That one is fine, but the actual other Anubias melted back, and it's actually starting to grow back now. So hello, Jenu and Atkins and Levi and everybody else that has come in the middle of the stream. I am like 5 minutes behind, so if I missed anybody, I am sorry.
Yeah, I'm about the same as you. I'm just scrolling at the same time now.
Says, my planted tank has gone green. What should I do? Secondly, my AR Mini is melting. Any advice? There's scuds in the tank. For the green, I'm gonna, black out the tank. That's if it's by a source of light.
I mean, the AR Mini is melting probably because the green water might be blocking out the light. AR Mini needs light. And then there's scuds. Scuds are going to chow down on that too.
But yeah, I've only had green water once, and I made it on purpose. So
yeah,
and that was only because I was using a grow light on the tank just to give some free floating stuff. So you could do a massive water change, but that might just prolong it. I would advise against the algicide chemicals and stuff because I don't like using those anymore. Because I'm pretty sure that's what killed one of my tanks.
Oh yeah, I mean it zaps all the oxygen out of the tank,
and I was not aware that's what it did, and I dosed it at nighttime before I went to bed, and that's when I woke up the next morning and all of my fish were translucent and at the top of the tank gasping.
Oof.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess you can try blacking out the tank. If you can move the plants out to another tank so they don't 100% die on you.
Yeah, and if you got a UV filter, I mean that can help a little bit on the green water.
Let's see. Alice says, I want to try growing pothos out of my 15-gallon betta tank. What type of light do I use to make sure the plant in my tank and the pothos get light?
I've seen pothos grow in ambient light.
Yeah, I was gonna say a lot of people I just see put it in the back of their hang on the back and just let it go, just with whatever. As long as you've got a ceiling light or just sunlight, it should be fine. I don't think that requires crazy lighting.
Yeah, open the blinds or something as long as it's not directly coming into the tank.
Yeah. Now, if you want to do like an open top tank with the pothos coming out the top, you might have to get some kind of one of those lights that kind of sits above the tank. It's got like the little bars feet it sits on, or try something that hangs down, or maybe recessed lighting above the tank or something. I don't know. Let's see. Lumpy says my crypts do best in pea gravel and don't gravel vac. Okay.
No, that's like having a dirty tank when you let all the fish poo accumulate. That's like my mosh pit is just like you don't want to stir up that gravel because some nasty stuff in there, but it grows plants.
That's like my 5-gallon downstairs, got the guppy coals and some killie in it. If I stir that up, it smells like to high heavens. So I don't touch that too often. Lady Meadowhead wondering where you put your secret Santa plants, Stephen.
Oh, so My 40 gallon, which let's see if I can pull that up. I don't believe it's a current. It's not current, but like see, look at that, always backwards. So like right there towards the back is they're not in there yet, but that's where I planted the baby tears.
Okay.
And then the dwarf chain sword is still in the pot, but it's in the catfish tank now.
Cool. Let's see. Greg said that his crypts go really well in Eco Complete.
Yep. Yeah, everything I've tried grows really well in Eco Complete. I like it.
My fish tanks says your thoughts on dirted tanks. I love them.
I'm scared. I'm scared.
All of my tanks except for 3 are dirted tanks, and I have 22 tanks. I get a local. It's not local to me, but it's a small farm up in Maine that ships seeds around the country. I get my potting soil from them. It's got a lot of, animal residue in it and stuff that gives a nice slow release. And then I use play sand to cap it off with. And all of my tanks seem to do okay with it. I don't mind the mulm, so that's not a problem with me. So I live by them. I actually I did a video on dirted tanks. It's somewhere on my channel.
I'm going to try it one day, and I have a feeling that once I do, I'm going to be a convert. Like, I'm going to be in love with them.
One of us. One of us.
Oh, God. Yep. I've always heard like the ammonia spike from the dirt getting in the water column, but then I realized if I just put like 3 or 4 inches of sand on top of that, I think it'll be fine.
We were just talking about in Stat and Susie Q's chat. I was in another stream at one point and they were talking about that. By the time the gas doesn't have time, or whatever people say, the gas bubbles come up. It doesn't have time to diffuse through the water fast enough to hurt anything. There's a couple times I've seen, pockets of stuff come up, but the fish are fine. And I think there was a small group of people online that read that somewhere and just ran with it and put it on every forum they could find.
That's how that works.
It just became commonplace that people thought, if I do this, I'm going to have this random like volcanic eruption of gas and it's going to kill everything.
Yep, exactly. Just the same, like, oh my God, the methane pocket. Like, well, you know what? If there's methane in there, guess where it goes? Away. It goes right up and away. It's gone. You're not like dissolving a crap ton of methane in your tank from that one bubble going in there.
Let's see. Michael's saying his room temp is about 70, so I'm assuming that's about the Java moss. It's good. Yeah, like I said, I would say probably 78 is the highest I would try and do Java moss at. My wild beta tank stays at like 75. So let's see. Zen said her room temp is 67. Let's see. Oh, hey, I'm finally opposed to becoming a member. Monte Carlo would be nice. It would creep down in time if your water is good for that. Try Baby Tears. Baby Tears was the other one I couldn't think of at the time.
Yeah, well, what if you can't grow either?
I think
like Didi just said, I can't grow Monte Carlo or Baby Tears.
Like the first time I got Baby Tears, it was from the co-op and they put it in that green, whatever the heck that stuff is called. And I didn't know, like I'm taking it apart to try and, find the plant.
Mm-hmm.
And I take it all apart and then I'm like, well, how the heck am I supposed to plant this now? So I emailed Candy and she's like, oh, we recommend you plant it in the pot. And I'm like, why is that nowhere on the website?
So I've heard of another method that some of those fancy schmancy aquascapers do with Monte Carlo or dwarf baby tears.
Okay.
And they will get it to root in their substrate. But first, they will actually take a clear pane of glass, think like something from a picture frame, and they will spread out the Monte Carlo mat onto the substrate. And then they will take the clear glass and they will just stick it right on top of the Monte Carlo. So light's still getting to it, but it's like just kind of being held down in place. And they'll keep it like that for however long it takes until the Monte Carlo roots. Never tried that.
Curly kitty.
Killer kitty.
I keep saying curly. Well, oh my God. I swear I have dyslexia because that R looked like a Y. Killer kitty, thank you for becoming a member. Oh dear. I lost my place now. I am despising doing it this weekend. I'll look at you. I have not set the desk up yet. Don't come for me. I'm probably gonna do that this weekend. The week off. Because I have I'll pause here. I have African cichlids coming because I'm upgrading my current African cichlid tank to a 40 breeder from a 30 gallon. So I had to place an order from some more fish because I have not enough for that tank. So I have to dismantle that 30 gallon because the fish are getting here Thursday. I'm using existing substrate, existing decor, all that good jazz. So I'm going to hopefully get the tank set up the night before or the day before, let it, do a, run for a little while. And then that way, when the tanks get here for the fish, I should be fine. I have to do that first before I can do the desk thing. So it's a process. It's a process.
No, that desk will be next month.
I think if it's next month, I'll probably, end up injured.
Yeah. So I'm starting to think the same thing, Greg. He said he has a pink flamingo doing well, but honestly, they are overrated. Yeah, it's a win TI that's been mutated to be pink, and I bet you can easily turn it back into a regular win TI with the proper lighting. All right, Zinger. I expect that you're going to become a member of my channel too. Okay, just so you know, I'm watching you.
Bex Fisher, thank you so much for becoming a member. I can't see what level y'all are joining on, but thank you either way. Let's see. And Paul says my water is acidic, 6.2 to 6.4, with relatively high GH, iron in the water. Metalheads, thank you very much for that. Low KH, Java Ferns and Nubius, Lilies, Lotus, Val, Sag, Crips, Pogo, Boost, and Swords, all timers, all lights on timers. That's a lot of words.
Okay. Is there a question though?
I don't think it's a question.
Or is he just saying?
I was thinking there'd be a question toward the end of that, but
no, he's just saying, look how great my water is. It's got perfect KH and lots of minerals and Skipper. I can grow all kinds of stuff.
Thank you, Skipper, for becoming a member.
Wow.
Everyone telling Crowntail to use a UV sterilizer. I try to avoid them. Just, I'm trying to do as much budget as I can, but UV would, kill it much faster. You can just have fish that eat the scud such as liver. Lady Metalhead, thank you so much for becoming a member.
I'm watching y'all. Become a member over here.
Dee saying Pothos doesn't take direct light. Other people saying it grows off ambient. Hello, Fish Ranch Home.
I haven't tried Pothos because I heard it's bad for kitty cats, and I don't want any of my animals to get a taste for it.
That is one thing. Some certain plants are poisonous. African violets are, if anyone didn't know.
So if anyone in here has kitty cats and dogs and Pothos and hasn't had a problem with the cats being curious about it, and because I can't restrict the cats from it because I have tanks all over the house. So
all right, I'm going to start a timer for 1.5 minutes. When that ends, we're going to roll for a giveaway. So you have 1.5 minutes to be typing in chat to be an active member or an active user on the list. Right now it says 44 people are still active in chat. Again, it said at 15 minutes. So if you were at 14 minutes before you said something, you'll still be counted right now. Just letting y'all know.
All right, time to get active.
Let's see. I'm looking for any more questions. Paul says, if you do a dirty tank, make sure you don't have any diggers like a geophagus. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Even my African, I didn't realize Mbunas dug as much as they do.
Yeah, and Greg says, I can't do dirty tanks. I change things too much. Yeah, I've got a problem with that too, especially in this tank behind me. I change stuff around all the time.
That is the one problem. If you do a dirty tank and you have a root plant that's going to spread a nice root network, when you go to pull that up, you're going to get some dirt coming up with it.
Yeah, I'm not into moving sword plants around or anything like that. I can't imagine what would happen. I have this giant Amazon sword in the center of the guppy mosh pit that has roots from corner to corner at this point. I just cannot imagine the disgusting putrid mess I would make if I tried to pull that up.
Let's see.
I would have to just cut it right at the crown.
Where'd it go? Where'd it go? I'm
What's she looking
despised.
for?
Oh, there it is. All right.
Doo-doo.
It is giveaway time, y'all. Again, we're just doing this based off active users. So if you were active in the chat for the last 15 minutes, you are good. I'm hitting roll now. If you don't want them, tell me and I will roll again. Aqua Garden's in. It's a fitting one. You got garden in your name. Congrats. Let me know if you want them. If not, I will roll again.
Congrats. And he's a new subscriber. Been seeing him around a lot more lately.
Yes, happy to have you here. All right, and I think I saw Fish Tank Dad asking about success with low light carpeting plants. Dwarf sage and dwarf hairgrass are the only two I've had success with.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Dwarf sage. Another one that's not a carpeting plant, as in like it doesn't auto carpet, is pearlweed, but it's a good carpeting plant. You just have to keep up with trimming it, trim it, propagate, then you'll get tons of it.
Okay, that was. Oh, I found my spot again. Crown tails. Oh God.
What?
I don't know how to pronounce that one. Any advice on Myriophyllum matagrossen? Did I say that well enough for you to know what the heck I'm talking about?
I don't have any experience with that. I don't have any Myriophyllum plants at all. So, yep, sorry. That's
Is it related to the one I mentioned earlier? Because it looks similar.
Let me Google it. It looks kind of cool.
Almost looks like a Christmas tree kind of looking. Or it looks like a hornwort.
Oh yeah, Merle said S. repens. I mean, I wouldn't. It's not a fast carpeter, but it'll work. It needs a good bit of light to stay low, and I have some of that on the other side behind me.
Chris Robertson asking, do I have electric blue Jonas cichlids? I do not. I have the only blue ones I have currently are the manganos that are in this African tank behind me, which show up periodically. Yeah, Matt, if you want to come over and assemble the desk, by all means, you got to take this one down first, though. Let's see. I'm almost at the bottom of this. I'm not used to being this far behind. See, Eduardo says, see what talking plants will do for memberships.
Yeah.
Susan said,
I mean, as part of my membership perks is I give people plants. Like I got all kinds of stem plants that I trim, and I'm getting to the point now that I don't have any more room. I can't shove any more into the mosh pit, so I got to do something with them. So.
Aqua Gardens, and you just have to shoot me an email with your shipping info so that I can get those sent to you. I believe someone put it in the chat, but if they did not, it is lefty3213a@aol.com. I know I'm one of the few people that still use AOL.com.
Welcome. They should just say, welcome, Lefty.
I used to have R2D2, actually. Susan said, did you use Canva to make your background? The Fishie talk, yes. And then I had it set to be a transparent background, which was why it's black. Because when I didn't have it that way, for some reason, the cameras would not show up on screen.
We're still working on getting Skipper to 500. I forgot about that.
To get him there, he should be really close now.
Yeah, he's gonna make it. He's got some time, but drop his link and then poor Jason. He's got a ways to go.
Well, they've got until summertime. Zen saying, Steven, I have 6 cats. They all played with Pothos and they're all still alive. LOL.
Okay, cool.
So maybe certain ones, I don't know. Who knows?
I mean, maybe they have to like ingest a whole bunch of it. Who knows?
Liquids is saying Pothos in the basement. Cats go down there sometimes. Never see them touch it, but I do worry. Buffalo, for this one, there was not a hashtag. No, I'm just going off an active list in the chat. So as long as you're active, from 15 minutes before I roll it, you are automatically entered.
Yeah, Lady Metalhead says she's already a member. Yeah, I know. I'm just looking at the rest of y'all.
I mean, I'm sure you could do a Google Alice and see what people say, because again, it might be one of those things where it was said once and some people ran with it. I do know for a fact that certain houseplants are poisonous to cats, though. So I would just, even if you call your local vet, call your vet and say, "Hey, I'm thinking about getting this houseplant. Do you think is it poisonous to cats? Will it be okay?"
Pothos and cats.
Dee Dee says, never had an issue with Pothos and Kitty. She lived 19 years around the plant. Eduardo never had issues with Pothos and Cat.
I mean, our cat's 15 years old. She doesn't jump on the tanks. I mean, she can barely like jump over the little baby gate to get to her food. She'll sit there and look at you, let me in, but she can. She just doesn't want to. Yeah, she's getting up there in age. So yeah, I don't know.
Paul Sotero is saying, I can't grow most stem plants to save my life. The KH is so low that I have to add bags of argonite to filter so the snails don't melt. I would try Bacopa, since Stephen confirmed my water is soft and that stem plant grows wonderfully in my water, both as a planted one and a floating one.
And my water is medium KH and it grows splendidly in mine. I have so much of it, and so few of members for this stem plant trimming claimed it. I've got lots of it. And yeah, it grows really well. And I got it for free as like a bonus plant from some eBay seller. When I ordered a bunch of plants, it always comes with a free bonus plant. And that was one of them. And I don't even remember what I ordered, but it died. But the bonus plant is like invading all of my tanks.
Lumpy Dog saying, many stem plant trimmings will make it great floating plants should you need any. So that's what I do. When I cut my stuff, I just let it stay floating. And then once I see it start to put some shooters for roots, then I'll replant it. I don't know if that's the proper way to do it, but I've had success doing it that way.
That's a good way. That's actually a good way to acclimate new stem plants you bring into your fish room. If they don't have good roots, just float them and they'll sprout roots eventually, and you can use that.
When I got that mother crypt from LRB in Chicago and I put it in my tank, I didn't plant it right away. I just let it float and it was doing great. It was shooting roots everywhere while it was floating. Second I planted it, it was dead in a week. And I'm like, you were doing fine. You were floating. You were beautiful. You had roots. I plant you and you die.
That's like me and water sprite. It'll float really well, but once it gets planted. So yeah, all this stuff blocking all this light, that's a bunch of stem plants that are just sprouting roots. And I just let it take over.
Yeah, so I had the Bacopa. I didn't do any maintenance on my community tank for like almost a year. And one of the fish uprooted one of the Bacopa plants, and it just started growing like clay. It looked like a viney jungle, and I was like, this is the coolest thing ever. But then it became a problem when no light could get down to the bottom. Oh my God, I reached the bottom of the tank. Tank. The bottom of the chat. Let's go. I need to get the test. Yeah, so would you, for people that want to test their JH, KH, and all that good jazz, would you recommend the liquid, the strips, or another method?
I'm partial to the liquid just because I like to count the drops. It's easy. And sometimes, because I want to be fairly precise whenever I'm looking at that stuff. And I would rather just know the degrees and then go, and then multiply that by 17.9. You've got your ppm of GH and KH. And you can use the strips and kind of get a range. I suck at comparing the colors for the hardness, but you can see the range. Like if it's way towards the bottom end, then it's low. And I think with like GH, if it's brown, then you've got liquid rock, which is how I keep this guppy tank all the time. But I have no GH in my tap water, so I just add a crap ton of the GH plus powder I get from Nylock G.
Let's see. Susan said, did you bury the crypt crown in the substrate?
Don't want to do that.
I don't think so. was, 8 months ago, so my memory is a little fuzzy. And of course, I Googled that, and I'm getting pictures of crowns in crypts.
Mm-hmm.
Because my crypt knowledge is not the best. Is it in the same spot that the rhizome is on, Anubias and stuff? Or is it
Yeah,
a
I
different
mean, you
spot?
just want to bury the roots and then very little else.
Yeah, that's what I did. I don't know. Because I didn't want to bury it all the way because the roots were doing so well. And the roots, I had a root that was like 6 inches long. So I was like, well, shoot, this would be a pain to try and bury this whole thing.
Yeah.
Let's see. Crown Tail said, what ferts you use and frequency? So the only fertilizer I have used is Easy Green. I've also dosed Easy Iron for certain plants, and once a week is what I do.
Yep. So since my tanks are always well stocked, there's a couple of them that I'll just use an all-in-one, like Easy Green, but they're mostly like I have 2 ppm of phosphate in my tap water, and I know that because I tested it, which is why I always say, like, hey, test your tap water. You never know what kind of crazy stuff's in there. And so that's free fertilizer. The fish produce the ammonia and nitrate, so that's never an issue. And then whenever I add the GH plus powder to add magnesium and calcium, the powder also has potassium. And so that's basically potassium is the only thing that I'm adding on a regular basis to my water.
Okay.
And then very, very sparingly, once a week or less, I'll put dry ferts of micros in there.
Okay.
But I dose that very lightly because you can burn some plants with that stuff.
All right, you heard it here first, y'all. And if you do use the Easy Iron, it will cloud your water for a little bit, but it usually clears up in like 12 to 18 hours. I remember the first time I dosed it, I was like, what's going on?
Yeah, and I also have I forget it, like there's different types of iron, and one of them is like ferrous gluconate powder that I have, and that'll also cloud the water up. I'm still going down that rabbit hole of iron absorption, like EDTA versus DTPA versus ferrous gluconate.
Okay.
But haven't figured that out yet.
Okay, Alishon, they might be the same species as cichlid. All right. Sounds good. And Susan said she found out about the crown when a pleco uprooted the crypt and it started to flourish. I mean, it's possible I buried it too much. So that tank it's got the gravel. I might have, mounded the gravel up a little bit just so it wouldn't get uprooted, and maybe that's what ended up killing it off.
Yep, same principle applies to valves too. You don't want to bury the crown. And swords.
All right, good to know there too.
Whatever happened to putting a rusty nail in the aquarium? Well, technology, capitalism.
All right, all y'all people that are still here and stayed after the giveaway, 14 minutes, we're going to give another plant package away. Just so you're aware, because I'm not going to mention it again. So if you see someone in chat mention it, just you poke them in chat, y'all, because I'm not going to mention it again.
Yep.
Melissa N saying, Pothos is toxic to pets. Eat a little bit, potential vomiting, diarrhea, or oral pain. Give them yogurt to soothe it and call the vet. My dog ate some. If they eat a lot, it could be a major problem. So that's like when and I'm sure it depends on the size of the animal too. A bigger dog's gonna have a higher tolerance, like with chocolate. Or it's like a grape and they'll get sick either way.
Lovely. All right, time to spam the chat.
And again, it's a 15-minute timer, so as long as you're active from now until then, you'll be fine. Like if you type right now, you'll be good to go. The aquatic plant Oprah.
The what?
Oh,
the aquatic plant Oprah.
Yeah,
Oh, you get a plant. You get a plant.
I wish I had plants to give away like Steven. I wouldn't have to.
Yeah, imagine Killer Kitty. Imagine that every so often I'm like, hey, you get a plant and you get all those plants and that plant. I mean, you see this behind me. I can't really put much more in there. So all the stuff that's growing out of my other ones, I'm trimming it up.
So the plant, since someone asked, I didn't technically tell you what it was for again. I'll show you. So it's a plant combo giveaway from Dustin's Fish Tanks. I'll play the little video they have on here. It's just 5 random plants from their tanks. I'm going to put easy beginner plants on the notes so they don't send you something that's like crazy difficult to take care of. And this is just a mosh of what people have gotten.
I bet Hygrophila would be a one they would put in the package too. Do you have any Hygrophila?
Is there a common name for it?
Not really.
Oh, okay.
It's like,
and probably not.
Yeah, I don't think so. They're all like Hygrophila corymbosa, Hygrophila polysperma,
Okay, I guess I can't pause it.
Stricta. Yeah. I've tried a few of them.
Michael A, thank you for becoming a member. Fish Tank Dad says, can Stephen recommend a CO2 kit?
What do you mean by kit?
Good follow-up question by Stephen.
Like, I don't really like, and I mean, so there is one kit, and I think Ian Atkins has it, and he can. Also,
goodbye, Susan, if you're still here.
He can talk more about it, but I think it is a DIY CO2 kit, but it's more like a regular, like I think you can use like a regular CO2 regulator with it. And it has like a metal canister. So it's kind of like a regular CO2 cylinder. But other than that, I have to say, get yourself a 5-pound CO2 cylinder. You can probably get a used one from your local welding shop or wherever for like $50-$60. And then you can get a, you can spend the $150 for the CO2 art one, but I also have several of the F zone ones that are like $80, and I have no problem with those either. So you can do for under $150, you can get a serious real CO2 kit, like CO2 setup, and get going with it. So that is my recommendation.
Sounds good.
And it's not like that equipment ages. You can, if you don't like it, you can sell it.
Cool. John the Fisherman, can I get in on this one? Yes, you typed in chat, so you are automatically eligible.
Yep. You're in it, whether you like it or not.
Snoochie saying, I got my hands on the UK version of Pinatafida.
Yeah. That's a Hygrophila.
Do either of us have crenums? I do not have a crenum.
Nope, I don't.
I'm near Dustin's tanks. Are they a good place to order from? I see mixed reviews. I've only heard good things about them. And Steven said that he's ordered from them and they've been good. So
yeah, the only plants that I failed with from them are ones that I knew was a long shot anyway with my water type. So yeah, everything else has been fine.
Yes, Alice, I'm doing another giveaway because I'm crazy.
Yay.
Oh no, Team I said I wouldn't mention it again. Crap. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Dang it.
I'm waiting for those typical.
I am too. So yeah, for those that don't know yet, I'm doing 365 videos a day, or a video a day this year. We got the calendar all filled out live on stream. I have something on every single day of this calendar.
For that month, or you have something
every
single day for
the whole year. God. I have the whole year planned out. It took me about 10 hours to mix and match between fish, foods, chemicals, plants, all that good jazz, as well as planning my weekly Sunday videos as well.
I don't have time to do research on those topics, or let alone edit those videos. And oh my God, I would not have a life, which it sounds like you might not either at this point.
You know, it hasn't been taken too bad. It's been taken, like, depending on how much, if I can get it one take, it's been taking me like 45 minutes to edit one of these, which for me is quick. So it hasn't been going bad so far. But I do have a video scheduled for this whole week through Saturday. I've got to record Sunday's video and get a start on next week's as well.
So if you manage to do this every day for the whole year, you got to step it up in 2023.
Oh, what's 2 videos a day?
Maybe.
You get 2 shorts a day. How's that?
God. Even a short, I would be.
Yeah, it'll be, here's my betta plushie. Here's
New
my
one.
betta fish. But yes, Matt, I am old school and like to handwrite everything. So I took a freaking calendar and I wrote down things on every single day for the whole blasted year.
Hey, it's a bird calendar.
It is, well, I think, is it? It is, yes.
Mhm.
Well, it says shades of nature. I think it's got, but it's mostly, is it all birds?
Yeah,
It is all birds.
I'm barely doing an edited video a week. I do have one coming out soon, and it's about the that other tank I was showing, the high tech one with CO2, and kind of the downfalls of having a high tech tank like that. Because if anything goes out of balance even a little bit, it gives the algae a perfect opportunity to come in, and that's what I'm battling right now. So I'll be
Fish
doing
tank
like an
dead.
update on that.
How long does a paintball CO2 tank last? I'm assuming that depends on the rate at which you're having the CO2 come out.
Well, what are they? 20 ounce, 24 ounce?
I think so. I think some might sell slightly bigger, but I think that's about right. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't use one on like a 20 gallon or a 40 gallon. But if you've got like a 10 gallon that you just want just a little bit of CO2 injection, like a bubble every 2 to 3 seconds, it could probably last you a few months.
Okay.
You just go low and slow. Like, you don't have to go full bore with CO2 and like get it to that max level before you kill the fish. Just a little bit of CO2 goes a long way.
Yeah, I probably should have gone with a more sensible goal and been like, I'm going to post a video a week this year.
I'm trying to do that, and I'm probably going to fail that immediately. Yeah, I cannot set that kind of goal. I'm just like, I will make a video when I want to make a video, and that when I can put the effort that I want to put in it. If I force myself to do something I don't want to do, then that's like a surefire way to make me quit completely.
Where did you get your CO2 canisters filled? That is a good question. I don't, because I'm used to using the little cartridges, so I don't get them filled. They're just disposable.
There's a place close by called Louisiana Fire Extinguisher, and I know a lot of welding shops will do it, but a lot of the welding shops actually will just take your CO2 cylinder and just swap it out and give you another one. This place will
kind of like when you bring a propane tank, some will swap them.
Yeah, this place fills up the one that you bring in.
Okay.
And there's also like the DIY beer places that sell the beer brewing supplies, and I think they'll do it too. And they like to charge a lot for it.
I would imagine if you have a paintball shop or an airsoft shop nearby, they might do it. I don't know about Dick's Sporting Goods, but that might be one you could call and see if they do it. It might depend on where you are, if they're allowed to or not. Big Tank Hank, what's up, man? I hope you're doing well. I'm not seeing you in a while. I think I was in your stream Friday, so I got to see you. It's just all a blur.
That's also a good tip. Look for local air gas places. If you're searching welding supplies, search air gas.
Kelly Foreman, what's going on? I have not seen you in forever. I hope you are well.
Hey, Kelly.
Also, Steven, close your ears. I'm going to talk about the Clash. So Steven is sadly not going to the Keystone Clash this year. Maybe we can get him to go next year. But yeah. I'm going to the Keystone Clash. It's down in Pennsylvania. Oh, look, there's Susie Q. It's September 23rd through the 25th. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday. The actual main stuff is Saturday and Sunday, though. Friday is usually this year it was an aquascaping little thing, so that was fun. It's put on by a couple local clubs in Pennsylvania. They've got a fish showroom where if you vote on which fish you want to win categories and best in show. They got judges go in there too. They got a super cool auction on the last day that I unfortunately did not get to participate in, but it looked like they had a lot of fun stuff. Books, fish, plants, pretty much anything you could hope to look for. Dave's Rare Fish gave them a lot of stuff for that. And then, they have different packages and stuff. I'll click on that real quick so y'all can seize it. So they got the Friday package, which did I have a Friday package last year, Skipper? I don't remember that one. That one is $35, and it's goodie bag entry Friday and Friday speaker. Also, it says speakers, maybe they'll have more than one. They got a speakers package. Full package is what most people are probably going to get. It's $100 for the whole weekend. You get goodie bag, Friday events, Friday speaker, Saturday, Sunday events, auction card, access to the award ceremony, a t-shirt, and a hospitality room, which has free snacks. And then, of course, if you have over 500 subs and talk about the Clash, you can get the Fish Tuber package, which they're going to do some cool
talk
things
about the
with
Clash,
that.
though, right? Make sure you
Yes,
talk about
that
it.
is on there. If you actually click on it, because I noticed it after I clicked on it, there is a little asterisk down here at the bottom. It says you must have at least 500 subscribers at time of registration and regular mention of Clash requested. So that basically they're giving you a trade-off. You talk about the Clash a lot. You have 500 subs, you get a $50 pass. So we got to get Skipper to 500. And I'll be talking about it more extensively. I'm going to do a video on it in March if I follow my calendar, and I'll give you all the deets and stuff more extensively then, and we'll check in and talk about it too. So
we got to get Skipper to 500. We got to get Jason and Fishie too.
And this year, I do want to do a stream from the event and show you guys around. Like Rico said earlier, if you were there, it was bigger than they expected turnout wise. They had more vendors than they thought. So the vendor space, you had like a 2.5 foot wide channel, and you got people trying to go both ways in it because each vendor has their own cash box. So there was no central checkout location. It was cramped. And then the fish room where they had all the fish in the tanks and stuff was it was bigger, but it still was crowded at most times. So it was just.
So there was like nothing YouTube related last year. So this is all new that you're trying to do.
Yes, there was no YouTube stuff last year. Rico did his interview with the Bucks County Aquarium Society president. But other than that, I mean, we had the hospitality suite, and there was 2 hotel rooms they booked side by side, and one half was like the non-fish tuber people, and then all the fish tubers stayed on one side. So it'll be interesting to see what they do. Hopefully, Skipper will relay some ideas if anyone has them on what they could do for that. But it should be interesting. It feels like they want to incorporate them more because they saw how many of us turned out last year for it. So I think they were like, "Oh, these people can get us exposure and stuff."
Sounded like it was a Fish Fam takeover.
Yeah.
I feel like the Triple Crown is going to be the same.
It sounds like it, yeah. And I think the Clash might like the Triple Crown sounds like a lot of fish tubers are going, but it sounds like it's an older crowd, very set in their ways, possibly. And Ed said it sounds like it's gonna be a lot more workshops. So
yeah,
we'll see. But I'm going to both. I have also Keystone Clash, Triple Crown, Aquashella, Chicago, and Dallas, and then Aquaticon are the only ones I'm committing to this year.
The only ones.
That was the time. Well, those are all the local ones that I can get to, except for Dallas. That's a haul.
Man,
Dallas is. I might stop off in Tennessee and go with Ed. All right, the timer went off. It is time to roll the second plant giveaway for the night. Bob, so you got in here just in time because I'm rolling for a plant giveaway. So as you can see, everybody's auto filled in because you were active for the last 15 minutes. So good luck to everybody. Lady Metalhead, congratulations.
Congrats.
Go ahead and shooteth me an email. I'm assuming you're still here. You'll pop up any second.
The triplets didn't show up. Man. Well, it would have been twins.
Yeah. There was only one. Huh? What, Skipper?
Mm-hmm.
Skipper said, I will. There's only one hotel. I knew there was only one hotel. I was talking about what? Oh, we're all going to stay at Skipper's house.
Okay.
Lady Metalhead, where art thou? I can contact her on Discord, so that's no problem.
I'm sure she's here.
Yeah, I'm sure. But yeah.
There she is, right there.
We got a lot of fun stuff going on. You won plants. You did, Lady Metalhead. You did.
You won 5 types of plants.
You did.
So
I'll just shoot you a message on Discord so we don't have to. And that way we don't have to go crazy. But yeah, so this should be an interesting year if I can pull this off. Steven, do you have any big, besides video a month, do you have any other goals you want to try and hit this year?
Well, me and Jenna are starting a new stream in addition to our Saturday stream. It's going to be monthly it may be twice a month, but starting with monthly. And we're just gonna do an interview and like some fun games and stuff with a new fish tuber each month, like somebody who's relatively new. And I don't have like a specific sub count in mind, but just someone who's like working hard to make good content on a regular basis, and is like really serious about getting into it and growing their channel, and just give them some airtime. And our first guest is tomorrow. It will occur after Ladies Night at 10 p.m. Central, and our first guest is Beck's Fish Room.
Okay.
So see y'all there.
Sounds good. Has Chubbs been going on Mondays? He
was.
I haven't seen a stream for him, but I'm just gonna double check. I know Fishie Biz has a stream scheduled starting in about.
Excuse me, Larry.
Just over 3 minutes.
Got a problem with the shape of the beard.
So this is your chance to get any last minute questions in, because Fishie Biz is going in like 3.5 minutes, and we're gonna end here in like 2. I just want to double check and see if Chubbs also has a stream scheduled. Also, new members. There are members posts that have discount codes if you guys were thinking about getting a shirt or mug or anything on there.
Nice.
Oh, what? I know I was subbed to Chubbs, but YouTube has decided to unsub me. It's been doing that a lot. It did that to me Lady Metalhead too. Okay, I don't see anything scheduled for Chubbs, so I'm gonna guess it might just be, it's just gonna go. But for now, we just got Fishie Biz, so I'll throw that link in one more time. Make sure you head over there. Give everybody some moral support over there.
Cool. Yeah, and I think after Beck's, if all goes to plan, then Eric Wyrock might be the next guest.
Okay, that'd be a cool one.
Month. But yeah, email me if you're interested. I have a few people interested, so it'll be some months out, but
cool.
Put you on the list.
But yeah, everybody, why don't y'all head over to Fishie Biz stream with the hashtag FishFam, because everybody needs a little fish fam, it seems like.
Yep.
And this was fun. Steven and I will see you not next week. We'll see you on the 17th. So Martin Luther King Jr. Day, we will see you. I did not realize that there were so many Mondays in January, so maybe you'll see us one more time. I don't know yet, but you'll definitely see us on the 17th. And you might see Ed and I Friday. I'm not sure how Ed is feeling, so it might just be me, or I can see if I can drag Rico or someone up with me to hang out for that as well. So until next time, I will catch you guys later. Thank you again, Steven. Thank you, mods. Thank you for all the new members and stickers, and have a good week, everybody.
Right. Bye, y'all.